notes off, the notes on, searching in the ground for a bitter song. The sun is out, the day is new, and everyone is waiting on you, and you've got a time. And you've got a time. Think of all the roads, think of all the crossings, and taking steps is easy, standing still is hard. Remember all their faces, remember all their voices, everything is different the second time around. And you've got a time. You've got a time. Okay, welcome to this tutorial on the Regina Spektor song You've Got Time. This is going to be played in the key of E minor. My other video was in A minor. This one I will do in E minor, just in case you want to change the key for your own voice. Also, it can be very good if you're going to play with two guitars, to have one guitar playing in A minor, and then using a capo, have the second guitar play with the E minor chord shapes. So you will get these chord shapes against the A minor chord shapes. And if you watch the other video, you notice I use a whole bunch of extra chords up here, and that can be very good if you play that against that kind of thing. They're in the same key but with different voicings. So let's go through some of these chords. So let's talk about the verse. We've got here E minor to D. Now you notice here that I substitute in an E minor 7 quite often, which is just the one finger chord, the E minor. Also, don't be afraid when you play the D chord to play a D sus2. Lift off the second finger there, so we can get a change like that. Now let's go to the chorus. Standard chords: C, G over B, G, inversion there, F A, we'll talk about that in a second, down to E minor. So I've got two inversions there, the G over B, that did appear in the other key, but here we have G over B, same as a G chord, first inversion, B in the bass. Now this chord here in the chorus, F over A, very easy to play this chord. We just line up our section here of our F bar chord. We take 3 notes, we don't play it as a bar. We put the A in the bass, open A string. Go down to the E minor. So the chorus then becomes, and you've got time. So let's talk about the bridge. First chord C. Think of all the roads, think of all their crossings, taking steps is easy, standing still is hard. Now that's optional there. When you play the G, D, C progression, you can introduce the first inversion for the D, which is going to be a D over an F sharp. On acoustic guitar I play that with the thumb. You can also do this more traditional shape, which is more difficult. for now, let's use our thumb. Line 4, remember all their faces. Remember all their faces. Now I'm not sure if I did that, but that's a good option there. C sliding up 2 frets to make D add 4. Remember all their faces. Remember all their voices. Everything is different. So right there, we go to a G6. I play that as a G6. 1 finger chord, damp the A string, play all open strings. Now the last line of the bridge, we can play from G6, F major 7 flat 5 to E minor. Now this F major 7 flat 5, it's from the E parent shape, we just slide it up 1 fret and we play like that. Now what you can do is you can play the root note as well. That's entirely optional. So we get this sound. There is something else that you can do as well. Instead of playing this G6 form here, you can play it up here. It sounds almost identical. If you start here, using the bar chord, but I'm not doing a full bar. I'm just doing root note and then E shape. And we simply slide down, starting with the G6. We got 2 open strings, play the F in the same form with the same 2 open strings. And down to the E minor. And then you can play the whole song like that. Now let's talk about some variations on these chords. The E minor is a great opportunity to use some fancy chords that are easy to play. You will have noticed I did play an E minor 7 there, I think at one point. You can add the 9th here very easily. That's a great sounding chord. There's also an option to use your E minor shape and slide it up the neck, and you're still going to be playing an E minor chord. That's a nice little option. That's an E minor 9 on the chord window chart there. That's on the 4th line, E minor 9, bracket 2. We play here on the 9th fret. You can of course play here. They're all E minors. There's an E minor 7, E minor 9. There's a second option there, of course, for the standard E minor 7 shape to play this one, which is almost a G chord. We just take our second finger off and leave the bass note as an E. Now looking around here on my chart for any other variations, with the C shape that we slide around here in the bridge, remember all their faces. Remember all their faces. It's entirely optional as to whether you use the 4th finger on the E string here. You can leave that open. In this key it sounds quite good. Alternatively, slide up with the 5th. So that's going to be going G to A when we use that. And just thinking about this, if you want to get a nice line going there, and you aren't going to be using a capo, you want to use it in this key, you could also play an E minor 7 and play it like this. I played the E minor 7 like this with the B on the top. So I hope you enjoyed that video. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment if you want, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.